It's the next chapter in my Porsche 928 EV conversion story. If you haven't seen any of the episodes so far, welcome. But where have you been, dude? Alright, here's what's happened in the 11 episodes so far. I love my Porsche 928s, I've got 3 of them, but I decided I'd like to build a 928 EV. So I've got 4 now. Episode 1, I found one in a shed. It turned out to be a lot worse for wear than I thought. Even though it hadn't started in 20 years, we got it going. I bought some bits from overseas and got royally reamed by Australian Customs. I bought a non-running crashed EV for the batteries, but we got that going as well. The 928 yielded some surprises as we started to pull it apart, good and bad, and we came up with some cunning plans for the EV. I enlisted the help of the real experts, and out came the V8. I also got reamed again at an auction, and the 928 loses half a tonne. So now you're up to speed and you don't have to watch hours of truly fascinating Porsche and electric vehicle educational infotainment. Sadly for you, your life is all the poorer for that. But here you are anyway. So welcome to episode 12. So, if you've been paying attention, you'd remember a few weeks ago I lent my little MG EV to the electric gurus so they could investigate the CAN bus networks in the car. They're doing a little bit of CAN bus sniffing. It always sounds a little bit rude just to say that, doesn't it? So today I'm popping out to Jeff's workshop to see how they're getting on. Hopefully my car is still drivable, and hopefully I can get it home so I can start disassembly and moving bits into the Porsche now that it's been denuded of its V8 and the drivetrain. Now Jeff is an electrical engineer and a toolmaker and has the ultimate heavy-duty electrical engineering man cave. And he's been helping people build their electric car projects for well over a decade. So it's fascinating to see the cars he has hanging around the workshop and just how much the technology has changed in 15 years. Now, I readily admit I have a lot to learn about EVs, so it's a real security blanket for me knowing that Jeff and these other guys are willing to give advice and share their experiences. Yeah. Oh, Wayne, you're so strong.
Yeah.
They've all got their own projects on the boil, but if I'm going to get my electric Porsche 928 on the road, it's very reassuring to have these guys willingly helping out. Of course, we've got Jamie, who's still busy logging and deciphering the CAN messages. And there's John, who I've just met. Now, John's sketching some electronic diagrams for me to try so that I can use the 40-year-old Porsche analog instruments with a modern car's network messaging protocols. Sounds pretty clever. And of course, there's Big Wayne, whose electric Honda S2000 sports car is taking shape back at his home. So Wayne, what kind of job has Jeff done on your battery box?
An incredible job.
I was fishing there and I got the right response. Now Jeff and Wayne together have designed a beautiful battery box for that car. What you've done here, what have you made? This is for Wayne's S2000
yes.
Honda.
Yes, so the MG batteries for the S2000 with a wonderful little battery box. So basically all the batteries have been built around a single base plate. And so we've got 15 cells bolted to the one plate, which makes it really, really compact in the way it goes together.
Well, it needs to be. It's a very small car.
It is. So I've made up some battery joiners. So these ones basically fit in like this. So I just got to put the slot or like a hole so they all bolt in. They go like this. And I made these ones here. These ones, just be careful where I'm putting it.
Yep.
But yes, they will go across here. And then these will just tape. So they kind of look like the original factory ones.
Yep.
Which
anything high voltage is orange.
Yes. Yeah. Pretty much everything. Yeah. Anything orange.
Anything orange, don't touch.
Yeah. Take more care.
Yes.
There's some cases where there's no orange, but that's not.
that whole car's orange. Should I not touch that?
Yeah. No, it's buttercup yellow actually.
It's more yellow.
Oh,
That's
It's
right.
buttercup
It's not
yellow.
orange.
Oh.
So if you want the paint coat, it is buttercup yellow.
So these are exactly the same batteries as going in my car. So we're going to have a little packaging exercise for my car as well, aren't we?
Yes, but probably not this difficult.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
Yes. You've got the big car. Well, the bigger car with a much larger engine bay.
Yeah.
And it's not a little 4-cylinder.
So one big square box is the plan.
Yeah. It's got to be made so that the batteries are easily connected, and which would probably end up doing something not the same but similar in construction to this.
Yep.
Where you can actually assemble all the batteries on the table like this, finish all the connections, which I'll do with this pack, and then you drop it in the box, and then the box is sealed, put in the car, and Hopefully you don't have to open it up because you got everything right the first time. But you can check it all on the bench first.
The good news is Wayne can use the transmission tunnel to squeeze in about 4 or 5 batteries where the gearbox used to be, and thus he can have one oddly shaped big battery box. So if people want to follow the progress of your build, where do you go?
EVS2K on YouTube.
I can't use the transmission tunnel in the Porsche as it's just too narrow, because that's where the torque tube used to be. But I still have plenty of space, as we found out last time, in the front. So it's either one large battery box up there,
Look at that.
or possibly 2 boxes with another one at the back, where the fuel tank and the gearbox used to be. Today I've come up with a design for a single battery box.
No, this is how it is in the MG. This is the standard
Okay.
layout. I just did this sketch here. So we got the 18 cells, 6x3, big flat plan.
Yeah, and then the cooling plates on these go like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gary. The orange, of course, marks the high voltage. So the 400 volts, sort of from 0 volts in and back and along and back and down and round. So we've got 425 volts between those points.
Yep.
That's how it is
That should tickle.
standard.
Should tickle.
Yeah, well, I'm not going near that. So here was my just rough sketch for how it might go in the Porsche. Plan view.
Yep.
And you can see, again, 6 on each level, times 3 levels.
Okay,
So voltage sort of just simple like that.
Yep. Perfect.
And here is the front end view of the same pack. So 3 tiers, cooling plates below, batteries, cooling plate, batteries, cooling plate. And this is how the high voltage would connect up that way.
Looks great.
And that's the again the high voltage across the 3 level.
Yeah. Done a good job. Looks good.
And I didn't go any CAD or anything. I just did it with a pen.
That looks great.
It's called Pencil CAD 1.0.
So Jeff, firstly I want to say thank you for doing an amazing job on Wayne's battery box. It looks stunning.
They do. It is.
And
It took a little bit of thinking to actually come up with the way that I assemble it. So it is, well, it's tight. To make it actually a tight fit and to be actually able to do all the wiring at the same time and then put in the box and everything to be like not a problem. Yeah, it does take a little bit of thinking.
so what I'm pleased about is that you're paving the way for my job, because all the mistakes and learning experiences you have along the way are going to help me.
Mistakes?
Sorry?
What mistakes?
Now, I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
You're always doing cars for other people, but I never see you doing anything for yourself. So what's your project? What would you like to do?
I've got a wonderful little 924 as well. Well, it's a Porsche 924, Tesla large drive. It had batteries, but they've all gone into other jobs. So I've got to wait for some more batteries to come back. But my jobs always get left to last. So when your car's finished, my car might be started. But yes, there is another car here.
Really? What is it?
It's a beautiful car.
Come and show me.
It's nearly as good as a Porsche.
Are you ready?
Yes. Okay, so we've got a beautiful FD.
FDRX7.
Yes, the Series 8.
These things are worth a fortune.
It is, they are. And this is, from I know, the only one in existence that's been converted to electric.
Wow. What can you show us?
Well, alright.
It just looks like a standard FDRX7.
Just looks like a standard one. And then you open the back and there's a bit of junk in here because it's been moved around. And here's half its battery pack.
Which batteries are they?
So these are a little Calb 50 amp hour cell.
Okay.
So they're 4.2 volts. This has got it's around the 300 volt pack.
Yep.
And about 55 kilowatt hours of battery in it.
Okay.
So
Which motor?
So this has got DC motors. So this is old school dual DCs. So it's got 2 big DC motors. It's got a 6 kilowatt charger. So the original guy, Ian, that did this conversion had different cells in it, but we've kind of revamped the pack. Like it's got more than double what it used to have.
It's still pretty old tech, isn't it? It's changing so fast.
Yeah, it is. But I wasn't going to touch it. We were going to put a Tesla drive in the back.
Yeah. No, that wasn't a criticism.
No, there was lots of discussion about this, but I didn't want to cut the car up and it was going to be very difficult to try and put the Tesla drive with the original RX-7 suspension. Like it just was, it's too messy. Like it wouldn't work, it wouldn't fit.
Okay.
But
so 6 kilowatt charger over there. So it's AC charging only.
Yeah. So at the moment, this one's only AC charging at the moment.
Yep.
So, and then I actually made, this is a new box, and I actually made it deeper so the cells would fit in. These are all finished other than the links haven't been connected. And then on top of here will be all the battery management system, and then the floor covering. Can't tell. And then from the back, you can just You can only just see
Hang on.
the battery box from behind.
Okay. And where's the motor?
Well, the motor's in the middle.
The motor's in the middle.
Yeah, mid mount. The back of the gearbox was used only, and it connects to the torque bar. It goes back to the diff.
Okay.
And the motors are mounted in the tunnel, or part of it's one motor's in the tunnel, and the other one's just poking out, which you can just.
Okay.
You might be able to see down here, Wayne. If you
Okay.
poke your nose down in there,
Oh yeah,
can
down
you
in
see?
there. Oh yes, I can
You
see.
can see the second motor
There's one motor there.
poking out,
Yep.
and then
Wow. And what's this down here?
and so that's a power steering pump. So this
yeah,
is quite a large
okay.
power steering pump,
It is, isn't
which
it?
I'd normally use on this. One of the Holden pumps or a Mercedes pump.
Yep.
But I've got to redo this. The aircon's going to be all redone.
Oh yeah.
And
It's going to have
this-
aircon.
I have to have aircon. Couldn't live without it. It did have aircon originally, or when it was converted, it had just a mechanical air conditioning compressor.
Yep.
So when you stopped in the traffic, there was no aircon.
Okay. Okay. And what
So-
sort of aircon are you going to put in?
So now it's got an electric aircon, which is just there. This is the radiator for the controller. So it's got a 2000 amp controller, which in theory, I think it do about 600 kilowatts.
600 kilowatts.
Yes. Nearly enough to go in the burnout comp, but some of that.
I think that's more than enough.
I wouldn't be doing that.
If there is a Summer Nats again after this year's
Yes.
shenanigans.
Yeah. I'm not sure how long it would run at 600 kilowatts for,
Yeah.
but it will do 600 kilowatts.
Okay.
So it's
a
very
tyre
fast
fryer.
Tyre fryer, yes. And then there's, for the heater on this car, it's got a little kettle with a hot water element in it.
Yep.
And it's down in this corner here.
Mhm.
But other than that, and then inside, doesn't really look that much different other than the gear stick's missing.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thanks for showing us.
That's okay.
It needs neon lights in there to you know.
Oh, it definitely has. This is a battery and BMS system, so they normally do have blinking lights.
I mean, you need to go down to J-Car and get some proper Christmas lights and thread your Christmas thing through it.
Get the neons
Yeah.
around the edge,
Yeah.
like the young kids do. Hey?
Yeah. It's not. Why would you not? It's not complete without that.
But it does sort of fit well in there. Looks like he's sort of welded up some brackets on there.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's what the old fuel tank was.
High voltage.
High
Bit
voltage pipe, which
of. Is that a bit of PVC plumber's pipe?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Probably warmed up a bit so you can get it around the corner.
Yeah. Oh, look.
So this is a Siemens motor, and it looks like it's just on the stock gearbox.
Yeah, so you can still roll through the gears if you want to.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
people go, oh, I don't want an electric car because I like changing gears with a manual gear. Well, you still can.
Yeah, if you just want a smoke show, you just put it in first and hit the accelerator. Yeah. Oh, we had this problem with smoking in EVs. Oh yeah, that's the tyres.
Yeah.
He's got a little radiator up here as well.
Oh,
for
nice.
The coolant loop, probably for the motor.
Wow. So much work. And a little Peugeot 205. Look how 205, 206, whatever it is, it's so tight in there.
Yeah, it is.
Just for the benefit of our American and UK friends, January doesn't mean snow.
No.
It means 100% humidity and 38, 40 degrees.
Yeah.
So is that an aftermarket hub that's been put on that Tesla small drive unit?
It is. It's from Zero EV.
Uh-huh.
It's for the Porsche 930 CVs.
Okay.
Should work for you too.
Which should fit for me. Nice. But it's an awkward shape to get off.
Yeah, it's just not really.
Oh.
No.
So which controller board are you going to put in your Tesla Motors inverter?
Open EV.
The Open EV? Mm-hmm. And that's programmable, isn't it? Yep. Through a laptop or something.
Nice and modified.
Okay.
Take that out of the way. Yeah, next.
Jeez. That's not meant to be that hard.
It's not meant to be that hard. Hey, the one.
Where's your little circlip? Still there?
Here, just a little.
Yeah, it's just
Spring
circular
thing.
one, so yeah, it springs off it.
Sort of blinds me.
Whoa, you're so strong. Bit sweaty, bud.
Back in the workshop, Jamie's been logging data all day. I sure hope it's useful.
So just to give you some idea what Jamie's up to here, and we've seen that from the Charger unit,
Yep. So
we've got 2 sets of CAN bus leads coming out.
Yep.
So this is one of the CAN buses from the Charger to the power distribution board there. And if we look at our circuit diagram here, looking, what's that say? That's that connector, 3 and 4. That's not the one, it's the next one. Okay, this is them. CAN high is 5, and that's a yellow with a black trace. And CAN low is green. That's those 2 guys down there. Red connectors on the CAN high, and the black connectors on the CAN low. And that's going to his logging device here, where we can actually log the packets going through. And see, these are all the packet types of information, and we can trap them and see what happens when we put the car on charge.
Yeah, which is normal if you try to start it up.
Yep. Press OK to return. OK.
Okay, I think you get the idea. Jamie's learned a lot, I've learned a lot, and best of all, the MG is still running. So it's time for little Meg to head home so I can start pulling it apart.
Thanks, Wayne.
Pleasure.
I hope that was worthwhile.
Thank you for the loan of your MG.
Mate, you're most welcome. They're a cool little sports car, aren't they,
I'll
MGs?
take it home now and rip all the good parts out of it.
That's the plan. If I never see you again, then, well, it's been fun so far.
See you back at the workshop.
Okay, I'll be right behind you.
Hey, thank you for watching. Although there's been no Porsche content this week, let me know if you found it interesting. And see you next week.